Hello and welcome to part 9 of this 10-part series on beginner guitar songs. If you haven't seen the other 8 videos yet, click on the card above and that will take you to the short playlist. Of course, in this week's video we're going to be looking at Bryan Adams' Run to You. So a great popular song, only about 6 chords. You're also going to learn some riffs as well, some really nice strumming patterns. Cool, so you're going to be using Capo on fret 2 for this. You can play it without the Capo if you want, but again, if you want to play along to a backing track, something like karaoke version or something you've made or found online, you'd want to play it with a Capo on fret 2. It sounds a bit brighter as well. So the key is in key of F sharp minor, tempo is approximately 127 BPM. Cool, so let's take a look at the chords first. You've got a C major first. Again, we're going to be calling the usual chord names. Because of the Capo, this is technically a D, but we're just going to go through the usual chord names that you're going to be used to. So C major, so third fret, third finger, third fret A string, middle finger, second fret D, open G, first fret B, and then open E. Cool, and then we've got D major, so open D, first finger, first fret G, third finger, third fret B, middle finger, second fret E. Okay, we've got a B minor chord. Again, it would actually be called C sharp minor because of the Capo, but we'll just refer to it as your normal chord voicing. So it's B minor, bar the second fret from the A string, and then the third finger, fourth fret of the D, little finger, fourth fret of the G, middle finger, third fret of the B. Now, if you're not too comfortable with bar chords, you can use this kind of cheap open chord. It will work really well as well. So this is a B minor 7 chord. Not too comfortable with barring just yet. So first finger, second fret A, open D string, middle finger, second fret G, and then third finger, third fret B. That's a really nice sounding chord as well. So you can always use that if you're not too comfortable with bar chords. Cool, then we've got an E minor chord. So middle finger, second fret A, third finger, second fret D, and then a G major chord. Okay, so first finger, second fret A, middle finger, third fret low E, and then third finger, third fret high E, and then an A major chord. So here you've got open A, second fret D, second fret G, second fret B, and then open E. If you struggle to play that with your first, second, and third, you can always play it with your first finger. But be really careful not to play this F sharp here. Ideally you want to have like an arc, so you're playing the open A, E string. So that's an A major. So again, not many chords, which is great. Of course, what we're going to do first is look at this classic riff, okay? This is a 2-bar riff. You're going to be using this in the intro and also all the verses, okay? And rhythm-wise, they're all quavers or 8th notes, which basically means there's 8 notes in a bar and they're all half a beat each. So counting-wise, you're going to count it like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Again, it's a classic riff. It sounds really cool to the Capo as well. So middle finger, what you're going to do, put your middle finger on the second fret of the A string, and then the first 3 notes are E, A, and D. So, and then you do those 3 notes again, but again, I want you to do alternate picking for this. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So down, up, down, and then up, down, up, and then you hit the A string, and then the E string. So there are your 8 notes of the first bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Cool, now what you're going to do is put your third finger down on the third fret of the E. So this is to start the second bar. You're going to go down, up, down. So that's 3, 2, 0. Kind of a partial G chord. Okay, so that's 1 and 2. Then the challenge is going to be sliding up 2 frets, and then you're going to start with an up stroke on the low E. You're going to go E, A, D, A, E. So that second bar again, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And that kind of shifts, especially if you're starting out with fiddly. Again, alternate picking is really important. A lot of people kind of just do downstrokes too much, and especially getting this up to speed, alternate picking. So at least the rhythm isn't too bad, because it's just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? So just play those 2 bars, again, classic riff, and you're going to be using this, really good for you starting out if you just haven't done many riffs before, just strumming. And it's just 2-bar riff that you're going to use sort of a lot this song. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it sounds really cool. You can also put a bit of a chorus or modulation and something like that if you've got an effects board. Sound really nice. Cool. Now we're also going to look at the bridge section. Okay, so what happens? Actually, I'm going to put the song structure up on the screen now. So use song structures for all my videos. Hopefully you find that useful in breaking everything down, how many times you do each part, etc. So I'm calling that 2-bar riff the main riff. So in the intro you do that 4 times. The song structures will be in the description, by the way. So the intro you do that 4 times, then he starts singing and you do it for another 6 times, okay? And then what happens is you've got the bridge, okay? So this is kind of in between the verse and the chorus. And basically what you're going to do is this classic down, down, up that we've been doing loads so far. So just to recap that strumming pattern again, 1 crotchet, a quarter note, downstroke, and 6 quavers or 8th notes, but one of them's tied on the start of beat 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and down, down, up, down, up. Again, you might be doing something slightly different, but I think this works really well. Again, this is my own take on the song. So you're going to do, for the bridge, I'm going to do 2 bars of C using that strumming pattern. And 1 bar of D. And then 1 bar of B minor or B minor 7 if you're not too comfortable with bar chords yet. So that's the bridge, and then also you have that in the second bridge as well. So it's a nice little 4-bar phrase to break up between the kind of riff and then the chorus sections. Cool, so if you watched the last video, which is Man on the Moon by REM, we went through this, what we call strumming pattern 5, okay? And this is what we'll be using for the chorus, which is a brilliant strumming pattern. And this is what the chorus is going to sound like, okay? So basically this 2-bar riff that's repeated quite a lot, which is E minor to G to D to A. And it uses strumming pattern 5. So if we just break down strumming pattern 5, that goes down, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up. Okay, counting wise, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So what's happening is you've got your down, down, up, down, up, which we've just had in the bridge. Then you've got kind of a miss, up, down, up, which you've got a tie. So 1 and 2 and then another tie, miss, up, down, up. I get a lot of my pupils to just kind of say the word miss for those ties. That way they're in the right position. So you're going to go down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Also, some people think of it as like 3 up, down, ups in a row. So if I just did that with 1 chord, say an E minor, it'll go like this. Down, down, up, down, down, up. And the really cool thing about this song is what's happening is you're changing your chords where those ties are, okay? So just take it through slowly, so it'll sound really nice. So what's happening is we're going to the E minor to G. Again, in the song structure, I've got E minor, G and D in 1 bar, and hopefully you find that useful. Any chords in brackets means there's however many chords there in that particular bar, okay? So E minor to G, you're going to do this. So that strumming pattern is all you're going to be using for this chorus, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. We'll be switching chords. So E minor to G, down, down, up. Okay, so that's the first bit. Down, down, up, miss, and then you got up, down, up, miss. Okay, so that's that first bar, this 2-bar phrase. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Then you got another tie, so miss, up, down. So only 2 strums on the D, and then for the A, up, down. Okay, so just do that a few times. It's a little bit fiddly, but it sounds really cool once you get it. And the idea is you're changing off the beat, which is a really cool thing to be able to do, and just makes chord progression sound so much more interesting. Okay, so down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay. And what you do in terms of counting, I'll count it. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. It sounds really nice. And obviously at speed. It sounds really nice. Cool, so the way the structure works, so the first chorus, you do that 2-bar phrase 3 times. Then what you do, on the fourth round, you're going to go down, down, up, down, up, 1, 2, and you let that D bar, that D chord ring out, okay? So I'll just play the whole of the first chorus. So, this is round 1, round 2, and round 3. And the last time, let that D ring out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool, then after that you've got the a break section, which is basically 2 rounds of the riff. And then another one of those. There's a few other lead parts. F sharp minor pentatonic, but we're not going to do those just because it's a beginner series. But yeah, if you wanted to play around with those, F sharp minor pentatonic if you were interested in that. Cool, so once you've done that first break, you've got the second verse, again 6 rounds of that 2-bar riff again. Then you've got the second chorus. So the difference between the second chorus, first chorus, is just double the length. So you've got times 6 of that 2-bar phrase with those 2 bars at the end instead of times 3. So hopefully that makes sense. Cool, and then we've got the middle 8 section we're going to go through in a second. And then you've got the second break. So after the middle 8 section, it's just the guitar on its own before the whole band kind of comes back in for the final chorus. So the second break is just that. Just no other backing band. And then the rest of the band comes in. And then the final chorus is 14 rounds, I think, of that 2-bar phrase. And then you're finishing off on the... So it's cool, so it's not too complicated. And that's the bulk of the song. So we'll just take a look at the middle 8 parts. You've got this cool little kind of harmony guitar parts. Okay, and what you're going to do, you're going to bar the 11th fret. I'm doing this upstroke picking, but again, you can do alternate picking. You're barring the 11th fret on the D, the G, and the B. And what you're doing is you're hammering on. You're picking the B string. So 1 E and that's the rhythm. 1 E and then and of 2. I think you're doing the 11th fret G, and then do it all upstrokes, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's the rhythm. 1 E and 2 and 3, 4, and that rings out 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you go to the 9th fret and just do the same thing. 1 E and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 E and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, and then you go back to this bit. So in the song structure, I kind of call this an E riff, then a D, and then a C because of the capo. Cool, but actually what's happening is it's an F sharp, an E, and a D. It sounds really cool, especially if you're not used to hammer-ons. The idea is you're really digging in. 1 E, 1 E, and 1 E, and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E, and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E, and 2 and... Quite free to count this. Then go back to that. So that 11th fret, 9th fret, 7th fret, and then 9th fret. Or technically you could say that that's 9th fret. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, 9, 7, 5, 7. And then basically that's an 8-bar riff because it's 2 bars for each chord. 11 or 9, 7, 5, 7. And then after you've done that round 8 bars once, there's a harmony guitar comes in, okay, over the top, okay? And what you're going to do is on the high E string, you go from 7 to 9 on the high E string. Again, same rhythm and picking pattern. So 7 to 9, and then 9, 9 on the B and the G this time. And just go 2 frets down and do the same thing. So it's quite cool. Again, if you're not comfortable with lead parts, just focus on the rhythm. So that's the middle 8 section, and that's everything really. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Again, don't forget to check the song structure out in the description as well. Practice everything coming out of one section to another section. For example, coming out of this. introduction into the chorus. It's a good fun song to play, and yeah, cool. So if you're interested in getting any tabs for this or guitar profiles, so all the tabs you see on the screen, I make all that using this excellent program called Guitar Pro, which is pretty cheap. And I'm soon going to be updating my website, so this is in process, so it'll be ready in about 2 or 3 weeks time, something like that. And you'll be able to sort of get guitar profiles and PDFs, all the sort of songs that I've been doing in these series. So keep your eyes and ears peeled out for announcements of when the website is done. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that bell icon for notification. Any comments or suggestions, feel free to let me know below, and give it a smash that like button if you've enjoyed the video as well. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.